That's perfect.
I just want to thank you for your love, for the perfect sacrifice you made for me on the cross. I just want to thank you. Lord, I just want to thank you for the blood you shed that set me free and made me live. Oh, Lord, I'm grateful. Lord, where would I be without you? Lord, where would we be without you? Oh, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. But what you call I don't want you. We lift our hands, we lift our voice, we say and show all the world says. After all is said and done, I'm who I am because of you. What can I give for all this love? What can I say but give you thanks?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It is going to be an amazing show, Coach Kemi. You're right on track. This is going to be one of the best that we've ever had. I have my beautiful sister here. You know, it's just beautiful to see the work that she's doing. Welcome. It is the African Woman Show. We just got started. I'm going to give you another 2 minutes to please invite others and please tag on people's names in the comment box so they can come in to see this amazing woman and the powerful work that she's doing globally. And the song that we're just listening to Facebook, if so you don't go after me, I don't have a right of this music, but it is titled Eshe. Eshe means thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just grateful. And my sister is extremely grateful. I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for the work that she's doing. I'm grateful for how far she's come. We've done a lot, together over the years. And just seeing how beautiful, this what she's doing is just becoming her organization, her impact all over the world. She herself is evolving. And so, that's the reason for my music today. I just feel gratitude. I'm not sure why, but I just feel gratitude. So enjoy the song with me. It is by the Nigerian musician Nathaniel Bassey. Eshe, it means thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you have something to be thankful for, please, this is a place to say, come in the comment box and just be thankful, just be grateful for how far you've come. You might not have made it here today. Some people started on the 1st of January, but they're not here today. The fact that you're here today, there is a reason to say thank you. So we're just going to go back on that for another 2 minutes and we'll be back.
Thankful for your redemption. My victory is in your blood. My confidence is in your name. You took shame so I can shine. So much you did without a price. And shine, and shine, and shine, and shine. Oh, Lupala, and shine. Can you join me? How many are grateful for their salvation? How many are thankful for the blood, for the cross? This is not just a lovely song. This is the story of my days. I'm a product of your grace. I wouldn't be here without your love. That's why I sing. I'm the grateful people in the house tonight said, it means thank you. Hey. Can you lift your voice and say, one more time. Thank you, Jesus. And just for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Jesus. Oh,
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for making up the time to be here. Oh my goodness, that music was just so good. It's just so soothing. It's and I think it's kind of like a reflection of your personality because I just felt like that's what I wanted to play today. It's beautiful. Well, thank you so much everyone for making out the time to be here. We're ready to have fun. I don't know where you're joining us from, but I'm really, really excited today, of course, to see my sister and see all the amazing people in the house. Look at Coach Kemi is right here from Nigeria. Thank you so much. And my sister Adrian is here from the US. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. Asem Musa, thank you so much. Everyone who is joining us from my LinkedIn, I cannot see your name unless you comment. I can see that you're there, but I would love to give you a shout out, right? We don't let people come in the show and just step out because this is a show for VIP. So when you come in, we want to treat you as one. Now, come into the comment box and let me know what country that you are representing. It's going to be an amazing show today, for sure. This is the African Women Show, SAWUUBONAA. And where did we get the name from, SAWUUBONAA? It was inspired by a Zulu word, SAWUUBONAA, which means I see you, I honor you, I celebrate you. And that's what I'm going to be saying to my sister today. I see you, I honor you, I celebrate you, and I add one more, I love you. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. You are amazing. It's just beautiful, to connect with great women all over Africa. Now, let me tell you, if you've been sitting and you've been ashamed of being African, you need a deliverance. You need to come into the show. Listen, we are taking the world by a storm. Africa is the future, is the now. So it's better for you to jump on board. I don't care if you don't have a platform yet, you don't have what you're already doing, but you can connect and collaborate. That's why we're bringing on all these women, so that you're not telling me, "Oh my goodness, Dr. Louise, I haven't seen anyone from your country." My country, you're that's a lie, because I probably brought someone, but you're not in the show. So we are going round, and that's what we're doing with the African Women Show. Kind of like the aircraft are just kind of hovering around Africa, looking for women, spotlighting the work that they're doing, and just bringing them on the show. No one is going to tell our story. We have to tell our stories. You know what? I'm so excited because of this month of July. Of course, is the African Women's Day is on the 31st of July. That is being celebrated every year by the African Union. So this is a powerful month for us. We have a lot of announcements for you at the end of the show. But of course, my sister is here. First of all, Dr. Adama, she's right here, Kaloko. Yes, I see you. I honor you. I celebrate you. I love you. That's it. Please just say that to every African woman around you, because every one of us requires love. If we are able to get love from each other, then we don't need to be seeking validation for people who are not even valid. Excuse me.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes we feel like, oh my goodness, because I'm a woman, I'm at the back bench. I don't know. I hear things like, oh, women always were in the kitchen. Who are those in the kitchen? We left the kitchen a long time ago. We are taking on stages, right? We're running organizations, right? We're sitting on VIP tables and doing amazing work. So if you're still in the kitchen, you better come out, because I don't know what you're doing in the kitchen, because your sisters are moving from country to country and doing great work. So thank you so much, everyone, for making out the time to be here. Dr. Damer, I'm just going to give you a chance to say hello to the audience. Over to you, my sister.
Yes, yes, yes. Greetings to every one of you who are joining us on this call. It's always amazing to just be able to share, use our voice, and pour into each other. And I love that. I see you. I honor you. I celebrate you. I love you. We don't have enough pouring into each other. So let me just take time to thank you, Dr. Louisa, for giving me this opportunity to share and use my voice, because someone poured into me. And I hope that whatever I say today, someone can be encouraged, empowered, inspired, motivated to do great things, because life is so short. Again, I'm honored. I'm representing so many things today. I'm representing Africa. I'm representing Sierra Leone because of my family. I'm also representing United States because I was born on the soil of the United States, but my heart was nurtured in Africa. So I am so honored to be here, and I just can't wait to just share some pieces of my journey that I hope will resonate with you, and that we can just have a good time. I love what you said. We're going to have fun, because this is not just speaking and boring ourselves to death. We are going to speak with purpose and power. So I am honored, and I love you too, Dr. Louisa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is really, really great. It's just beautiful to see. And Dr. Damba, I'm going to take an opportunity right now to say that I am so inspired with the work that you do. To be honest, I'm really, really inspired by the work that you do. It's easy for people to wake up to work when they have all the resources and everything in place. But it is very difficult when you have a vision that maybe everyone around you might have thought you were crazy. I mean, you left the United States. You left the United States. You were born here. You were here having a good time. You left, you pick up your bag, and you went to Africa. And you were just like, I don't know where I'm going. But what you did was jumping and building your wings on the way down. You didn't know if you're going to bump. You didn't know if you're going to hit rock bottom. You didn't really care. But you said, you know what? it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go and meet people who look like me,
Yeah.
and be able to empower and share something with them, share a part of me with them, share my heart with them, share whatever that I have with them. And it's just lovely and so inspiring because you really didn't know where to go. You really didn't know where you were going. And when I look at videos and look at the pictures and the work that you're doing, and if you haven't followed Dr. Adama yet, please do so on social media because she's on every great platform. So if it's not a good platform, she's not going to be there. So now Facebook, she's on LinkedIn, right? You can get her on Instagram. She's on YouTube. Please stop by and just say hello to this woman because and look at all the videos, all the pictures. She's empowering the young people, the girls, the women, the youth, the elderly. She does it all. I remember years ago when I connected with Dr. Adama's work, one of the things that really dragged me to her work on LinkedIn, I saw this woman, pick up little girls who could even speak English, but she saw something in them. She picked them up. She bought sewing machines. You remember those
Yes.
days?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then she sends money, they buy the sewing machines, they get a place, they get them trained. First of all, we get uniforms for them, pay their school fees, send them
Yes.
to school, then their parents, she's taking care of them. And I'm like, who is this woman? That's where I started watching her from. So
Yes.
listen, guys, when I tell you this is a powerful session, I'm not just being cocky because I know who this lady is. I know what she's built from ground up.
Yes.
Watch this happen. I've watched her for years. I was looking at this and I didn't even know that a platform was going to bring us together. God bless God was going to bring us
Yes.
together. But I was looking at this videos, I was looking at these postings, and I'm like, who is this woman? Like I just love her from a distance. And every time I had to go to her page just to see what she was doing,
Yes.
what she was up to, right? And just to see that you had the heart to serve, sis, that
Mhm.
is what is special. That
Yes.
is common, right? Is the heart to serve because you didn't have to do it. You could have just closed your doors and sat here, and
Yes.
I didn't even know what your story was at the time. I'd only just bumped into you. I
Yes.
didn't even know what the story was. And then you know what? I think there's a way God does things. He brings you together if you're supposed to work together, and then one day, boom, we're on the same platform. I'm like, wait, I've been looking at this lady for a long time now. And
Yes.
how we connected, and it's just been amazing and just beautiful after that. Now, let me kind of take us back because Coach Kemi says, I'm looking forward to this story. Yes, it's going to be great.
Yes.
Let's take you back down memory lane,
Yes.
right? And I want to speak about, one of the things that I love so much about what you do is building the legacy of your father.
Yes.
Why is this important? Because so many people's names and voices have gotten lost just because their children were not able to take on the burden to build their legacy. And this is why we hear stories and things like, a lot of people say in Africa, oh my goodness, all the big good people in Africa are dying. I said, no, they're not dying. Because if a good person dies, as long as they had kids, their work continues in their kids.
Yes.
But it all depends on what the children want to do.
Yes.
So, Dr. Dama, let's go back to the very beginning. What
Yes.
inspired you to even wake up and think about Africa when you could have just been lounging and enjoying life in America? Over to you.
Yes. So as I said before, I'm born and raised second of five children right here in U.S., Washington, D.C. So this is my area of birth. But my parents, they hail from Sierra Leone, the rural parts of Sierra Leone. And growing up in a household, there was, so much exposure to the African culture. And that's one thing I want to say, and I give credit to my mom and dad. The food, fashion, like whatever we wore, they did try and make sure that we children who were born here knew about that. And having never gone to Sierra Leone, I always feel like sometimes I traveled there through the stories. So storytelling is very important for us children who've never been to Africa. And for me, that's really where it started. My dad always talked about Africa. And whether we like to hear it or not, we always heard about how we have to go back home. And
growing up as a child, I never understood that because I got immersed into the culture of America. And at one point, I didn't want to be African. I'll tell you that now. I did not want to be because it was embarrassing. I was always teased. I was that product in the 80s growing up in DC that it was just not a popular thing. So I did everything to, again, keep my voice quiet, not be in the forefront, and let people know that I had any connection to Africa. So I almost feel like now I'm kind of walking in a space where I'm trying to make up for all the times that I denied my African roots. So fast forward to, as we got older, and I went into the Air Force. Again, exposure is everything. I learned to meet a lot of different people. And then my dad passed away in 1997. So that was a right moment for me, just as I was just learning about myself and getting out there in the world. And I had to go back. Of course, losing a parent is devastating. But after some time, you have to realize, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to sit and just let him die like that? Or are you going to allow his life to continue through you? And I chose to put respect on his name and make sure that everybody would know the power of what he did for us as children through us. And my sisters and I, we all took it upon ourselves to start going to Sierra Leone. And my first voyage was December 2003. And I'll tell you, destiny is something, because I was a part of a group that paid for a ticket that was supposed to be discounted. And I was not, I actually was informed maybe a day or two before that everything was canceled. But when God wants you to do something, he will allow it to happen. And I got a last minute one seat United Airlines flight. And I was in tears because I said, God wants me to go to Sierra Leone. And I went. My first trip was to learn about family who heard about these children in America of my dad. And I went, and from there, I believe that's really, really what took place. I went to discover my roots, but I found my purpose. I went to go and meet family for the first time, but I found my calling. And I always tell people, you don't know where and when God will lead you to your calling. But legacy became my forefront. I wanted everyone to know that even though my dad wasn't here, the respect will be on his name through me. Whatever he could not continue, we would continue. And I tell people who are first generation born, embrace your roots, embrace the fact that you are a bridge because you are in the US or you are in London, but you have the opportunity to tell the story, the correct story of your roots. And so this is what I always tell people about your voice. Your voice is powerful, and I use my voice. So this is really my memory lane. Is my why is trying to make sure that no matter what, that even though my dad was no longer here and I was very close to him, the history that he poured into me about Africa and Sierra Leone is really what was the beginning step for me. So I love telling that story because I think that a lot of people don't know how much your why is, why you don't give up. When you don't have the resources, why you don't turn it back. When somebody says, I don't know why you keep going over there. You have America. Stay here and stop going over there and let those people stress you. That is my why. My why is because I have my father that I am continuing to keep him alive. And that is my healing. That is how I healed from crying every night from losing him. I healed because I started helping people. So I know that was a long response, but I love telling the story because I really feel like a lot of us don't embrace our why and let it lead us. So to my dad in heaven, I hope that he's continuing to smile down. It's been years, but I always feel like I talk to him when I'm on the plane. I'm like, I'm going back, Dad, and I'm taking him with me. And that's the power of how when you lose someone, let them live through you.
Mm. That is so powerful. I got two things from there. Service activates your voice. Service activates healing. It brings forth healing.
Yes.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful because so many people are in the corner stuck up and waiting for healing to come.
Yes.
But you were proactive. You were just like, you know what? I'm going to move and find my voice. In the process, you found your voice. It was difficult, but you see the pain, you were ready and able to, convert this pain to power, to purpose, to use it. It's like, you know what I would have loved to do for dad, that is not here, but I will do this for somebody else. So
Yes.
I don't know if there's someone, all the time I hear people talking about, I'm trying to find my voice. Listen, you can find your voice through service.
Yes. Yes.
That's what she did.
Exactly.
That's what she did. She found her voice through service. And Dr. Dama, I want you to share a bit about who you were before, because I've heard this powerful story of you. You were not this forthcoming, but this is what service did for you. Could you share that to lift somebody up who is listening? Over to you.
Yes. So growing up again, I was a very insecure woman, young lady. I was insecure of my looks. I was insecure of my background. So I learned to just be quiet. People that know me that went to school would say, I would never know who you are, because I was extremely shy, very smart. I was focused, but I was very shy. And I think insecurity can really block you from your blessings and opportunities. And so that was who I was. Social media, I felt like it was just something to get attention. And again, it sometimes takes people pouring into you to wake you up and to help you. But one thing that helped me was my faith. I always prayed. People would always just randomly say there's something special about you. And when you kind of keep hearing that from people, you can't run away from it. My mother would pour into me and say, out of, always say, you're going to do something great. And again, it just took a wake up moment that I realized I'm beautiful, number one, inside and out. I have something to say, and I have a purpose in my life. And being exposed to different people speaking is important. I always tell people exposure. So the military taught me a lot about the leader in us. So, sometimes I wonder what told me. I went to the military for school, but I didn't know that it was something that God was brewing to help bring something out of me. So that was one. And I also served as an AmeriCorps fellow, again, trying to look for an opportunity, something to do in college, not knowing that me serving in soup kitchens and in DC and doing all these things for 2 years was a part of me and my calling. So service has always been a part. Serving in the military, serving as an AmeriCorps fellow. Again, I'm thinking it's one thing. God has another plan. So from that moment, that shy, insecure woman that thought there was nothing amazing about her to say, God turned that around in an instant. And then I became a servant as an NGO in the space of serving Africa. So service is really the key. But I always that's why I always grab the young girls. I love my boys, but I always grab the young girls. I look them in their eye and I make these posters that you are beautiful, you are a blessing, because we don't hear a lot of it. We have an internal voice that talks to us a lot. And sometimes we are led by that. But I make it a point of duty to speak to the young girls and say, do you know how amazing you are? And when I go and do that after, they shy and they look at me and laugh. And I'm like, did anybody tell you that? They said, no. But I said that because I know the young girl, Adama, who she was and how she stayed in a corner because she didn't feel good enough. So I'm not returning to that, but I do return to use my voice so that I reach out to those who are going through that.
Wow, this is powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. If you're just joining us for the first time, it's the African Women Show. Here we honor, amplify the voices of African women who are doing amazing work, from leaders to people who are change makers, who are creating impact in Africa and globally. And so if you feel like you're doing amazing work and should be on the show, please do so by sending me an email. It's louisa@louisaakaiso.com. And also, if you have someone that you want to nominate, don't hesitate to do that, because this is all about us. We have to amplify the voices of women. Now, let's get back to the show. So, Dr. Adama, last week and this week has been a great time for everyone, of course, with what's happening in Sierra Leone. Stopping the child marriage. That is something that affects everyone. I mean, I've had tons of comments from different people saying, oh my goodness, when is this going to happen in my country? When is that going to happen in my country? And all of that. And I know that you work a lot with the young girls, in your country. So my next question for you would be, what do you do? What does Impact Sierra Leone? What do you do for the little girls there? I know there's several things that I've seen you do, but
Yes,
what are you focused on with Impact Sierra Leone? Over to you.
yes. So, we started out working with the orphanage, and then over some time, we were led to the rural community. So, first off, the area that I work in is in the village, and in the village, the disparities are so much higher than the city. So, there no running water, lack of food is a common thing. So, but for me, particularly with the young girls, we do support the teen girls with hygiene, items. This is through a partnership with farms. They help us provide fruits and vegetables. We really try to I do a lot with knowing where they are. A lot of the education has been impacted since the war. The education quality of education has not been the same. So I always try to connect that when I go in. And a lot of what we do is when I go, I make I try to do some like little gifts. I give all of them school supplies every time I go for Christmas. School supplies are provided for everyone. I just try to add little extra tchotchkes for the girls. But one thing that I do is when I have a initiative that I call Women and Girls Empowerment, and it stands wage because a wage in war against inequality.
Right.
This is something that is new. We're kind of entering into the action phase of it because Seeds of Life, that's our anchor program. It's just kind of taken on flight. There was a time when I first started, like you said, I didn't have the kind of like know how. I had to understand the community. I had to learn the community. I had to get the blessing of the community. And that's really the most important thing in working with a community that, and for someone like me coming from the US, you have to understand the culture. And so we don't have a specific like on active program for the girls, but I did create an initiative so that we're going to have workshops. This is forthcoming. I am going back in December, and we're going to do the Christmas Day of Hope. But like this particular time, I went in March. I had little hair bows and little things that I gave specifically to all the teen girls. That was just something so they know. You have a big sister, you have a big auntie that always, and a lot of them are named Adama. So those are the ones who come to me the most because they like my name, your name. And so there's this kind of like special bond that we have, and it's a blessing. But one of the things that we're going to do again, I did create an initiative, is just finding the team. Team is everything because I'm here. I'm in the soil in the US. So it's very important that I have good people on the other end that can carry out the work when I come back. And so that's, I don't have like a specific thing that we have, but we do have things in the works. So that's why I'm building the vocational training center. That's like our biggest thing right now is bringing an infrastructure because it's going to change the game. It's going to completely allow them to have a space. We are planning to have teach the girl skills. But whenever I go, you've seen me, I pound. They always have something for me to do. So the last time they were like, Auntie, come. And we were pounding rice. And so all the young girls were with me, and we don't speak the same language, but we speak the same language. And every time I always make sure I immerse myself into, so they know that I'm not coming here as a bougie girl from the US. I get down and dirty. And I think that's why they appreciate me because I let them know I'm you. We together. So there's a lot coming. I want to do some sewing classes with them. I want to teach them how to, like, I make flowers. That's my thing. That's my outlet. I ask them, what do you want to do? They love the art. So when we go in December, the same thing that I introduced to the women, everybody's going to receive an art board because it's therapy. And I'm going to be doing some other, specific activities, but the wage initiative that we created, it's about to take flight. And I'm really, really, really excited about that because they really need it. When I went last year, this year broke my heart because a lot of the young girls who had moved on were pregnant. And I'm like, I was like, look at this one. I mean, I can't, of course, break down, but at least three or four of the young ones that I saw the previous year, because there's no opportunity. So I came back determined that, all right, it's time to get to work. And the vocational training center is probably the best thing for communities like this, somewhere that they can go and learn a skill. And because there's no jobs, so that's my solution, is trying to bring something that they can have, where people can come from the city and they can teach a workshop and they can get paid for it, instead of having to go and put themselves in a situation. But it did break my heart to see a lot of the young, when I say young girls, I mean young girls.
Wow. Wow. This is so beautiful. I just love what you're doing. It is so touching. Yes, LinkedIn user, I can't see your name. If you can comment with your name and just let us know where you're joining us from. Welcome, Dr. Julia. Welcome, Almira. Please let me know what country you're representing. Leonardo, it's great to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Please put a comment in the box so that I can give you a shout out. I know some people are just kind of enjoying my sister here and what she's sharing. But if you come into the box and just kind of let her know that you love and appreciate her, I think it's going to do a whole lot. Because, sometimes, we give so much out as women leaders. We pour out a lot. And sometimes you just need that hug. You just need someone to say, my sister, how are you doing? I appreciate you. I love the work that you're doing. That is just so warming, right? So
Yes.
just get in the comment box. I don't care where you're joining from, and just say something good to my sister. Just let her know, Dr. Adama, we love you. We
Yes.
love you. That's all I need from you. Just tell her I love you. Oh, somebody's here from Sierra Leone. Almira, welcome.
Yes, Almira just came back from Sierra Leone. That's my sister
Wonderful.
from another mother.
Wonderful. And we have Ghana, but of course in Canada. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Joyce is here from Nigeria. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And Amira says, keep up the great work. Thank you. So please just give us some love. Send her some love. Get in the comment box, and you just give us some love. Give us some love. It's a lot of work. I mean, just going there, just stepping out. When I listen to Dr. Adama, one word that comes to mind for me is intercultural social impact. It's a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Came from a totally different culture.
Hmm.
It's easy to be African on paper. I always say to people, until you step your foot in Africa, you're not yet African.
Yes, that's true.
Many people in this part of the world are like, oh my goodness, I'm 5% African, I'm 10%. I said, sis, you are a joke. You're not yet African. Welcome, Sololo. It's great to have you, my sister from Botswana. You
Yes.
are not African until you get to Africa and see that poverty is your neighbor.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Until you go to drink the water in Africa and realize that it is totally different from the water that you're drinking here, you're not African yet. You
Yes.
imagine that you could be African, but you're not.
Yes.
So
That is
please,
true.
this is really to encourage every one of us who are in the diaspora,
Yes.
and don't tell me I don't have a platform, because you can collaborate with Dr. Adama, because
Yes.
you can be in the show every Saturday and see who is coming up in your country, and you can partner with them.
Yes.
Coach Kemi is here. Just tell them, oh, Joyce is here. I said, you know what? I want to do some work.
Yes.
Some more. Dr. Julia said, oh, I want to come to Ghana. I don't know what country you want to visit, but this show is brought to you by Women Who Win Africa, and we
Yes.
are a platform that empowers African women to build their leadership capacity in order
Yes.
for them to drive meaningful change. And what
Yes.
does that mean? We have members in every country in Africa, and we're not just trying to brag. This is like real. You need to step in to the community and see that we do have women. So if you want to go to Sierra Leone, my sister is here,
You're welcome.
right? She said she's going in December. You
Yes.
can go and have a look at the work that she's doing. And we haven't even started jumping into what she's doing, because I'm going to talk to her about what she does with agriculture. Because I see this lady in the farm. She leaves the US and she is in the farm working with the elderly with seeds and all that. And Dr. Adama, I wanted to share a bit about that, because I want people to know that I see your work not through what you've told me, but I see your work on a daily basis. I see your work through you. You are one leader that models what you preach. You
Yes.
don't just say it, but you go out there to do it. So, what are you doing in the farm? Because I see you in the farm. What happens in the farm? Over to you.
A lot, a lot happened. Let me tell you, when I say the journey of impact, I don't just say it lightly. It's not just a pretty phrase. It is really a true statement because I didn't enter into going to the farm. As I said, I connected it because my dad grew up in a farm. So I resonated with going to the rural communities. And when you go to the rural part of Sierra Leone, farming, that's really how people survive. That is how people eat. And I made it very important for me not to just go there and say, hey guys, I want to donate water, because it's just an easy thing for me. That's not the attitude we should have. And I realized that you have to actually really know what the people need. And I was introduced to this farming community because I wanted to, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure that I worked with a community that needed help. I had worked with other communities and I realized they had other organizations helping them. It is good to collaborate, but sometimes you want to help people who really don't have anybody. And I was introduced to Foindu Village through my uncle because, again, farming, agriculture is a big part of really, I feel, how people can eat in Sierra Leone. And this is something that everyone knows, farming and agriculture, but a lot of times like the younger generation, they shy away from it because it's not fancy. No one wants to go to where, growing things in the dirt. But fast forward, I was introduced to this community, and it was very important because the stakeholders, the leaders, the elders of the village, they have to welcome you. It's not, you can't just hop and skip and say, hey guys, I want to help. You need the blessing of the elders. It's a respect thing. I think it's an African culture thing. And being that, again, they were aware of my dad. The name is everything. Someone said, they know my dad's family. That was like, again, the culture connection. It was bigger than me. So after some time, I wanted to see, how can I help? I was given an idea to help the children because I was told that they don't eat lunch. They don't have school lunch like we have here. If they don't have food, they don't eat. In my mind, I said, I can't function if I'm hungry. So hunger led me to farming. Hunger led me to this community. And we were doing the children's farming, but then we realized this is a community approach. Their parents are farmers. And so from there, we were connected to an idea that the elder said, we have land that just sits here. We don't have help to cultivate. It's just here. And when I say land, I mean acres of land. And so, again, trying to figure out, what are we doing? What am I doing? I went from school supplies and helping orphans to going into the village. And so after some time, and again, exposure, becoming a global goodwill ambassador, I learned about the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. I just started learning a lot from just different people and what others were doing. And I realized you have to have a sustainable mindset. You can't just go in and say, I want to help you with rice, and then you can't eat tomorrow. So I decided, let me partner with the farmers. Let me meet the parents of these children that we're helping. And we started by doing the Christmas program. They had this trust that they built, like, these people are just coming here helping us eat during a festive season where we don't eat. Because if you don't have money, you're not going to enjoy the festive season. And so over some time, I realized I need to have a long-term approach to this. I can't just be exhausting myself and then not getting anywhere. So that's where I decided to launch and create the Seeds of Life program. And I fell in love with the power of the seed, how you put it in the ground, you nurture it, give it light, give it water, give it the right environmental protection, and it grows. And so it just became a big part of Impact Sierra Leone because we were able to go from one farm to 4 farm areas, helping to get the community that were not, there was nothing going on there. There was no development. Impact Sierra Leone, it is not easy. It was not overnight. But again, working with the right people, getting the right knowledge about how things work in Sierra Leone. Again, I don't define myself as 100% African, but I love Africa, but I had to learn a lot. And
Mhm.
again, you have to have a teachable heart. You also have to have a understanding of how they do things, but also need to connect it with the right things. So I connected the Seeds of Life to the SDGs, and it has 6 areas. Seeds of Life, healthy futures. That's where I connected my design because I was always somebody who loved posters. And being that this was an illiterate community, I decided, well, illiterate meaning that the writing and reading. They have literacy, but in a different form. So I just started doing everything that I never was able to, I guess, make money from.
Mhm.
I started creating posters and having workshops, just sponsoring feeding days. And this really connected with the community. They saw I wasn't just here today and going to exploit them tomorrow, like so many other organizations. There are some organizations that go into a community and they are here today and maybe you won't hear from them ever again. I did not want Impact Sierra Leone to do that. And so I counted it a blessing to create events, outreach. I've shipped so many barrels. I've shipped like right now I'm still packing. And I realized that they needed clothes and shoes. So I had to open my eyes to the needs. And again, this farming thing, again, from the passion and a love that I have for my dad, I said I need to continue helping farmers. And it became a joy because again, having land but not being able to cultivate it, I feel it's a painful thing. And
Mhm.
so we were able to plant everything from cucumbers to peppers to cassava, and just to see the joy on their faces when it's harvest time, that they see this is what we did,
Mhm.
and with our help and support. So it's an ongoing thing. I have a WhatsApp group for them. Every morning I greet them from the US, and that pride that they have that somebody is with us, somebody supports us. They all call me mama when I go, even the elders. They say, "Hey, mommy," because we did take you now, mama. I'm talking Creole. They welcome me because they know that they said you found us here. It's a remote village, and when people don't come here, you're the only people that came and said we want to help find you. And so I take that as a high respect and high honor that they consider that I'm there and supporting them. And so every time I go, it's like this imaginary red carpet, like, hey, we mama don't come, or these are elder people, and whenever we have a Christmas Day of Hope, we feed 500 people, and we entertain. They dance, they do their cultural dance. It's their opportunity to experience life, outside of the stress that they go through. So it's a journey that I love. I learned a lot from. I'm still learning, and again, this year led us to trying to bring them a building that they can go to and actually learn a skill, and maybe go beyond just going to the farm. There's so many things that they can do, and they even tell me. So one of the things that I do have a team back home, and I want to give a shout out to them. I have a country director, so a lot of the pictures and video, we work together. We collaborate. So I help plan, I help fund the activities. Like they're about to harvest in September, so we're trying to get ready for that. So it is a constant communication, training, understanding each other, because sometimes there's misunderstanding. But at the end of the day, when you have children who see their parents just doing more and being able to thrive and being able to see that we know we're going to enjoy this Christmas because doctor is coming. It's a blessing. It is truly a blessing. And we're not stopping at farming. This is a beginning point, but I have learned a lot. So much so that I want to bring Seeds of Life to the US and help teach young kids about how to plant and farm, because we can't rely on the supermarket anymore. And I want this came from Africa. So we're hoping that we can even bring it in to schools, and somebody can invite me and talk about how we grow seeds and grow things in Africa, and maybe that could become a thing. But Seeds of Life is our anchor program, and it is quite amazing. And not only do we do farming, we connect with the clinic. My second year there, the nurses, they all came from me. They said, you come here, but we the nurses, all the children, we help bring them, and we need support. So all of what you're doing, the clinic, there's one clinic, they say, want you to also help us. And so this past year, you'll see some videos of us bringing supplies to the clinic, because again, all the women that give birth, they do go to the clinic, and it's just amazing. So it's a community approach that I feel like it will never end. Maybe by the time, like I said, legacy, I want to create a legacy so that whenever I'm ready to go to another community, at least we have achieved that goal of helping somebody become better, helping someone be able to earn and to thrive and to learn a skill and to learn how much potential is within them.
Wow, this is even more than what I thought. I thought that I knew Dr. Adama, but I don't think so. What I see is, you've been able to build an ecosystem.
Yes.
That's what you did. There's so many interconnected networks. You went in for one thing, you went in to see the children, and then you figured and you found out that they were hungry.
Yes.
And you had to look for the parents. And then you empowered the parents through farming. You provided, the seeds for them. And then the children, you still provided school for them. And then
Yes.
that wasn't enough. You knew that someday somebody's going to be sick. And so you turned around and went to the clinics to provide supplies. My goodness.
Yes.
It just keeps going. You know what I've learned right now from you is that the minute you say yes to your greater self, you must be happy to embrace all that God is going to bring.
Yes. Yes.
The sky is just the beginning.
Yes.
Because somebody could have gone there and said, oh, you know what? I just came to look at the girls. But
Yes.
what if the girls don't have food? They will die before you come back. It's
That's
just
true.
some of them got pregnant because probably they were sleeping with another guy just to get money to buy food, to get
Yeah.
money to, to even buy sanitary pads, which is some of the things that you supply to them.
Right.
And if their parents do not have food to eat, how do they care for the kids?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really a blessing. And like I said, it's not something that overnight I just decided, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Like you hit it on the nail when you said, you didn't have it all figured out. And if I'm speaking to anyone, I want to speak to that person that has a mindset that says, I got to have this in the bank. I got to have this work. I got to have this. It's going to be times when you may just have to go. You just have to go. And then, over time, it will all come together. Like I said, we didn't have Seeds of Life. I was just going, and I identified somebody, and I was helping send money for seeds and send money to clear the ground. And that's where it started. And so I do believe that everything grows. If you have the right heart, it will grow. Just like a seed, you nurture your purpose, it will grow. And I mean, today, if you would come to me 10 years ago and say that I would be here, I would tell you, I don't think so. Not me. Not me. But I count it a privilege and honor because I get to tell the story. Like one thing I pride myself is I'm taking you all to Sierra Leone, whether you like it or not. And every time, every chance, every opportunity, I try to highlight someone from there. And when I tell them I did take you to America, when I tell them I'm featured, oh, they post for the picture because they know that if not me, then who? Who will come and find them here? Who will come and lift them? And I don't boast, but I feel an honor that, some of them come to me and say, you know what, if not for you, I don't go able to eat, if not for Impact Sierra Leone, I'm not supposed to even have any small money in my pocket. And so I know that I'm not doing something wrong. So I'm not I don't take for granted what God has done through my story. Even with the loss of my dad, I feel like it's a part of my power. And so you probably know that I started this wellness thing because one thing I try to tell people is that doing this work, you can really be exhausted and the burnout is real. Like burnout is like a real thing. It's not just, you can really burn yourself out. And so I try to use every opportunity when I'm speaking to remind people to also, take care of yourself. And it makes you feel like you can do more. And so I started this walking and wellness walking, and it's a part of the journey of impact because I get to also, whilst doing that, I get to talk about Impact Sierra Leone. And it's been a year and a half since I started this, but Dr. Louisa, I would tell you, it has made me a better leader just by taking care of myself. And I discover a lot when I'm by myself. When I'm walking, that moment is just me saying, and I see so much about how I can do things better and just in my approach. So I just want to encourage everyone as I speak and have this opportunity to not only be a servant in whatever capacity, but also help take care of yourself in serving so that you can serve more and do more.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And a comment from Adrian. She says, when your heart is right, the work you do flourishes. Your seed produces fruits. Nothing is truer than that statement. That is so powerful. And I love that you talked about wellness, because even in the community, we started off the 21 days challenge. And, and this is something I've been trying to encourage the women that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't do much. You can't do much. And sometimes you think you can put wellness at the back bench. Wait till you turn 40. Your bones will start to remind you that says, well, I'm not the same like I was when you were
Yeah.
22.
There's stuff that start making noise. You're like, whoa.
Yes, they start to make noise. You want to climb the stairs and it's difficult for you.
Yes.
So, and this is why we've been encouraging as much women, thank you so much, Sylvia, joining from Uganda. It's a blessing to have you here. Welcome, Salman Abiola. I don't know where you're joining from, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mohammed Sheikh Sisse, I think that might be a Sierra Leonean name.
Oh, yes, Cisse. That's definitely Sierra Leonean.
My cousin was here from the States. Joy, thank you so much. God bless you. It's so good to have you in the house. And so just back to the story of encouraging more women. Like, just, you don't have to do much. I'm not saying go and register in the gym. Just get up and walk, sis.
Right.
Just walk. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Walk. You would experience clarity. You
Yes.
would experience a new form of energy. And of
Yeah.
course, even wisdom will come.
It does. And
Because
Dr. Louisa, if I can interrupt, I want to also say something about gifts and talents. I don't think we speak enough about how we're all given a gift and a talent. Everyone has something within them that you're able to do, and not a lot of us nurture it, not a lot of us recognize it. And so I say that because a lot of the gifts and talents or things that I'm able to do with Impact Sierra Leone came from things that I wasn't able to, I guess, necessarily make a living from. I started out before even doing the NGO. I was actually trying to be a wedding planner. And also I got into floral design. That was like a lot of people will know Adamus Creations was a thing. And I would just sit and make flowers, but then it didn't really go anywhere. So I said, okay, well, that's just it. I put it behind. I also graduated in public health, but never got into a position or, could find a job in public health. So again, that was just like, okay, well, I'll just do whatever I can do. But again, it was still within me, that public health fire that always loved to tell people how to take care of themselves. Your gifts or talents will make room for you. It is a true statement. And so fast forward to Impact Sierra Leone, a lot of those things that I felt like they were buried and missed opportunities, I brought them back because the seeds of life came out of my desire for public health. So I just want you to know that when you recognize your gift, like the floral part, I introduced them this past spring when we had a women's empowerment lunch. I showed them how to make flowers and they were like, we like this, because they can beautify any home you have. You can make it better. And so this is something that we're going to do. We're going to teach them how to make flowers. But I'm just telling you that don't ever dismiss your gift or talent because of the opportunities are not there. You never know where it will be birthed again. And so Impact Sierra Leone has helped me find a lot of the gifts and things that I did that never went anywhere at the time, but now I'm able to bring them into the vocational training that we're going to do. And the women farmers, this past time, I introduced them, I gave all of them an art board and I drew a picture, and it was like having them pose with me with their picture. A lot of them were like, we never do this kind of thing. All we do is go to the farm and, bowing before me. And I'm like, no. But they were like, you help us do things, introduce things that nobody would do for us. So I'm just trying to make sure that I resonate that your gifts and talents should never be wasted. You never know when they will show up. And that is a gift that I have with Impact Sierra Leone, is allowing me to use things I didn't even know was in me. And it's a joy, and it really is fun to be able to do that. So if you're out there and you are a floral designer and you want to help teach some of the women and the children and stuff, hit me up, because the door for opportunities and collaboration is endless with Impact Celia. We really do welcome people at the table, because this vocational center, we're teaching any and everything. We're not like limiting to anything. We're going to try and bring in for even the youth, because the youth they came and got me too. The youth footballers, they were
Wow.
like, listen, last year when I went, the soccer team, they said, listen, we want a soccer team here. We don't have anything here. And you will see, helped them start their own soccer team, because somebody saw a video and somebody said, I did soccer in Kenya. I want to send you money to buy them uniforms.
Mm,
Foindu Village had a soccer team, and we're going to support them more. So I'm just saying, don't let your gifts and talents die. Every day is an opportunity, and we learn from each other. So I just wanted to make sure I say that.
love it. That was so powerful and really on point and very timely. It has just been so beautiful, my sister, spending time with you on
Yes,
the show. It's been amazing. I really got to learn a lot more about your work. I mean, I thought I knew everything about your work, but I mean, every day you keep evolving by God's grace, which is beautiful. Yeah,
yes,
Adrian says, continue to sharpen and practice your
yes,
skills for when opportunity comes, you will be prepared. That's right. That's it. That's it. That's it. Nothing gets wasted. Nothing gets
yes,
wasted. And it is just so beautiful. I'm just going to encourage every girl, every woman from Africa, every man, I mean, not just women alone, who are just wondering, like, where can I begin from? I
yes,
hope that the story of Dr. Adama does inspire you,
yes,
really to begin where you are. Because you know what? The minute you say yes,
yes,
let me tell you one thing that God is going to do. And don't tell me I'm not a Christian. I don't care. That's that, you could be anything. But
yes,
your creator, somebody created you,
yes,
higher being created you. And the minute that you say yes, he is going to make sure that he brings together all of the people, the
yes,
resources, the systems, the structures, the wisdom, everything that you need. If you had asked Dr. Adama years ago, what are you going to go and do in Sierra Leone when she was going there for the first time? I bet you she didn't have an answer. She didn't know what she was going to go and do.
no, I was fearful.
That's right. She thought, okay, you know what? Let me just go and see. Some people go to Africa and it's like, let me go take a picture with my grandparents' grave or something. But when she got there, I mean, that's when you experience the aha moment. Like, oh my goodness, this is
It
real.
was an aha moment. Like I said, the first year I went, Impact Cilium did not exist. I was just going there as first generation born. Again, in the legacy of my dad, the family, they were waiting, because they were like, we need to see these children. And if you've been to Africa as a young American, you will know they try to take you as their own.
Yeah.
Like they say, my brother's born is my born. So, but again, I never met any of my grandparents alive, but I told them, I said, take me to all of their graves and tell them so they can see their granddaughter. And I'm Christian. My whole family is Muslim, but out of respect, I prayed and we did the ceremony, and that was a teachable moment for me. Just them accepting me, and of course, we still do things with my family, but going to all of their graves, it was surreal. Them showing me where my grandmother grew cocoa and coffee. I mean, I can tell you, it's going to be a book by God's grace one day. But I learned so much about how you have to respect culture, and you have to be in a learning moment. And I didn't know that that was my door to serving. So I applaud everyone like me who takes the step to go back, because it's not easy. We get immersed in America and we think, this is it, I'm good. But no, you got to go back to the place of your roots. You will never be the same,
Mm.
for the good. And so I will tell this story all the time. I went to the village, there was no light, we had a lantern. And I had a humbling experience, but it taught me a lot to be grateful for what I have, but also to fight to try and help others. It's really, I needed that. I needed to be in a moment where I didn't have all the luxuries.
Wow.
And it really does teach you how to look at it, that everyone in the world, there will always be a need for you to serve and to give.
I love it. Thank you so much, Salman, for your great words. I really appreciate you. It's great having you on the show. We look forward to having you on many more shows. And do take the time to
Yes,
look at some of the past videos that we've had. Dr. Adama is amazing.
Yes.
So much, sis. You keep saying that, it's a blessing for you to do what you do, but I want you to know that you are a blessing to the world. And it's important that you say that to yourself, because I know sometimes you might leave who you are just because in trying to be selfless, in trying to care, in trying to love, and you might not really pour back into you, right? So it's
Yeah.
important that you're intentional about that. And we as a community are letting you know that you are a blessing. Before others are a blessing to you, you are a blessing to us. You are a blessing to the communities that you've blessed. You are a blessing with who you become. You are a blessing by just taking on this beautiful legacy of your father and just empowering so many people around now call you mama, who you didn't know them before, but they
Yes.
now trust you as much as like, oh, she's a mom to us because she's given us hope again.
Yeah.
She's given us food to eat. She's given us clothing. She's taken us to the farm. She's given us light.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It just seems like you're building a whole village. And I would not be surprised, where life is taking you just because of the kind of heart that you have. Keep doing
Yes.
what you do. We encourage you and we're so proud of you and we're right behind you 24/7
Thank
all
you.
just keep doing what you do. So, to every one of you who has been watching, what did you get from the show? Please make sure that you get in the comment box and continue to leave amazing words, for our guest today. Just tell her how great she is. Go
Yeah.
back to the show and watch it from the beginning again. You know,
Yes.
every day we need an inspiration. There's so many crazy things happening in the world. Sometimes you wake up and
Yeah.
getting up. But
Yeah.
this is a story that I would love to hear over and over and over again because
Yes.
she has inspired the heck out of me, if there's anything like that. Well, thank you so much. Coach Kemi, it's great to have you here. It's
Thank you.
also
And this is a good way when you, as when you're in a position of leading, and it's a blessing to have these kind of platforms where you're poured into, but you see the light. It's a one of those ones where you just have time to reflect, like, wow, I am a blessing. And it motivates you even more. So to all those who join the show, I'm grateful, and hopefully you will stay in touch with me. Like I have videos everywhere. I try to make it a point to post the videos so that people see the culture, see not just me with words, and not really showing the work. So hopefully you all can connect and join me. If you haven't connected with me on LinkedIn, I welcome you to do that, and I'll share it. Hopefully you'll get that opportunity. But I really hope that it's like a world, it's like a around the world circle. We all need each other. And so I know that by next time I'll be talking about the vocational center that we've already built, and that we're teaching quilts, how to make quilts and stuff. So
yeah.
it's going to be a good opportunity. But as I said, I'll be, going back in December by God's grace, and we're going to have a party with a purpose. But we're also going to do the skills, and that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun because the elders, they say, we need our own art board. So it's going to be fun to see these older men who make decisions in the village draw pictures of flowers. But I cannot wait. So hopefully you guys stay connected, because it's going to be, like I said, the journey of impact. We're going to have so much more to share.
Thank you so much. And I just love what you shared. Salman says we should bring Dr. Adama on an audio event so that they can speak to you directly and
Ah,
more
yes.
words into you than text. It's just beautiful to be part of a great family. So, ladies, gentlemen, thank you
Yes.
so much. I
Thank
hate
you.
to let you go. But of course, like I shared with you at the beginning, we have so many projects that are coming up. Beginning from Monday, you're going to see a whole lot on our pages.
Yes.
July the 31st is the African Women's Day, Pan African Women's Day. Everywhere in Africa, we'll be celebrating. Of course, we will be having a Lift Her Up Summit coming up on July the 31st. It's our own way of celebrating the African women. And you don't even want to, let me tell you, I don't want to let you know what the theme is going to be. It's going to be amazing for sure. And then, of course, we have a book project that is ongoing right now. And the book project is Close the Gap. Close the Gap. So if you want to be part of this book project, because sometimes you're struggling to write a whole book, but you can just put in a chapter. And this is open for women from all over Africa. And then, of course, we have our big conference that will be in October. We had to move it to October. You've seen all the drama that happened in Kenya, but God bless Kenya. It's getting settled now. So we're doing that in October. Now, this is what I want you to do for me, because when we get started on Monday, you're going to be seeing a lot of postings. You know, we need nominations for award winners, right? So go in and nominate your favorite person, right, for the awards. We need you to nominate people as speakers as well. It's an African event, so we want to make sure that Africa is widely represented. So there are people that will be amazing that we do not know about. Please tell me about them, right? So when you see the links, go in and nominate your favorite person, post their website, post their company, because we have a team of volunteers that will be having a look at, gonna look into that, and then of course they'll be honored, because we feel that the art of honor in, you know, Africa, or the culture of honor in Africa, is a lost art, especially when we look at women. People don't celebrate women enough, and
Yeah.
that's what we're doing on our platform. So thank you so much, Dr. Julia. Salman says, I will be on the lookout for your event page. Super great platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Salman. You are amazing. So please follow Dr. Adama Koloko on LinkedIn, on Facebook. She's very active there. She's also on Instagram. She's on YouTube, and she would definitely respond to you. And make sure that you're saying the right things. She doesn't respond to people who are not saying the right things.
Yeah.
Make sure you're saying the right things to her, please.
And our website is www.impactsierraleone.org. It is going to be going through some change, some makeup, but right now you can still go there and, you know, at least check out the Seeds of Life so you can learn more about it. But yeah, you're welcome. Impact Sierra Leone is our Instagram page. So you see, you want to see videos of me in the farm, you
Right,
know,
right.
please go there. You'll be very inspired.
I love it. That's wonderful. So this is like talk and do. She's not just saying it, it's like go and see the work that we're doing
Thank you, Dr. Julie. I'm not sure, just reading her message.
right there on the farm, right there on the streets, working with the girls, working with the women, working with the elderly, you know, and building the center. So we're looking forward to that, and I know it's going to happen. Uh,
Yes.
Thank you so much, every one of you, and hope to see you guys on Saturday next week. But before Saturday, something is coming up. So make sure that you stay glued to my page. There's so much that's happening from Monday. There's so much that we're going to be doing. It's going to be an extremely busy rest of the month for us. We'll start driving you guys hard, you know, with the right contents, and taking everyone along until the 31st of July. So thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.
Bye.